So today we will be talking about procrastination. Procrastination. Hey fam, how are you? Happy Saturday. I hope you're doing great and you're having an amazing weekend. My name is Tobi and you're welcome to Growing Fearlessly. If this is your first time here, you are most welcome. So on Growing Fearlessly, we'll talk about different topics, tips, tricks that would ultimately lead us to growing into better versions of ourselves, individuals that we would be proud of. So today, we will be talking about procrastination. What is procrastination? Why is it still a thing? Why have we not been able to overcome this completely? These are the questions that I hope I can answer in this episode. So disclaimer, I'm not about to sit here and tell you of how I do not procrastinate or I've come up with a magic potion that would stop you from procrastinating when it comes to things that you have to do. No guys, that's not it. But it also doesn't mean that I do not follow through with my plans or my goals. No, I actually do follow through. So I would map out my strategies and write out what it is I have to do and follow through with it. It just means that sometimes I have episodes of procrastinating and not wanting to do what I have to do for different reasons that could be serious or not serious, and I'm guessing it's the same for you too. And to buttress my point, I would be sharing with you a short story on my latest episode of procrastination. Stick with me guys. So guys, in 2019, I had mapped out and strategized on how I was going to start a YouTube channel and a podcast by this side, and I was ready for this thing guys. I had read and studied and watched videos. I had taken courses on what I needed to do, what I needed to know, how I needed to go about it, because I didn't just want to start a shabby thing. I didn't just want to start a anyhow thing. I wanted to be serious with it and follow through. So I had done all my due diligence, like I was ready for it. I had seen how to set up the equipment I need to get, everything I needed to know about starting, I had seen and what. So I had the know-how of what it was I wanted to do and the steps I needed, because I had come up with content and everything I needed to do, because I write already. So it wasn't difficult for me to start coming up with content, in the sense that I knew the procedure of coming up with content. But the thing was, I had gotten all these things I needed, except I had not started. So the problem was now for me to sit down and actually do this. So I realized later that I was procrastinating, which I had been doing a long time before I realized what it was that I was doing. But that aside, so I was procrastinating on this particular goal of mine. And how do I know that I was procrastinating? I moved my launch date 3 times. Like I chosen one and I chose another and I chose another. And if I had my way, I would probably push the launch again, but I decided that I wasn't going to do that again. I was going to overcome procrastination in this particular goal. So guys, from this episode, I learned 2 major reasons why I was procrastinating, and this could be reasons why you're procrastinating on particular goals also. There are several reasons why we procrastinate, but these 2 are what I relate to mostly. One was fear of failure. Guys, fear of failure is a real thing. It's not just something that we come up with because we are afraid of starting something, which technically is what fear of failure is. You are afraid of starting something, but it is more intense than just feeling it, because it is crippling. Fear of failure would cripple you, it will cripple your goal, it will cripple what it is that you are working on. So you could have all the strategies and all the plans and everything that you need to pursue a particular goal, but once you have fear of failure, guys, it is crippling. And basically it is because we have this fear because we want to see the end result of what it is that we're doing. So you want to start something and see that you're going to be extremely successful at it or excel at it. For example, you want to go into school knowing that you're going to come out with good grades, you're going to come out with a good result. You want to start a job knowing that you're going to excel at it and you're going to be put up for promotion. You want to start a business because you expect your business to grow and become a 5-figure business in time. But the thing with it is that we forget that if you keep on holding on to the fear of failure, you would not be able to start. Now, fear comes at different points in our life to propel us to do something or weaken us. Depends on what you use it to do. But with goals, we have to keep in mind that you cannot be 100% ready to start something. Now, you can be ready enough to start it. So I'm ready enough to start writing because I know one time I'm going to be a best-selling author. Or I'm ready enough to start this business because I know that in the end it's going to grow into a 6-figure business. But you have to be ready to take the first step and start it. You can't see the 100% picture right now, but you can see the 10% picture, you can see the 20% picture. You can start it, and when you start, you have technically overcome the fear of failure in that area. 2, your goal seems too big. So for me, I realized that I was afraid because I was treading on a path that I had never treaded before. I don't like to be in front of the camera. I would rather be behind camera. I don't like to be on the scene. So which explains why I stopped writing for a long time. Writing is my first love. I love writing. But the reason why I was not ready to come in front of the camera was because it felt like an extraordinary thing for me to do. It felt like this gigantic thing that I had to overcome. And I wasn't sure if I was ready to do it or not. I don't know if that makes sense here. But the thing was that it seemed like it was this massive big goal that I had to do. But the thing with big goals or extremely large goals is that you have to break them into smaller bits. In big goals are lots of small bits of goals in it. So it's not just a big goal with imaginable space in it. No, it is a big goal with bits and pieces of smaller goals in it. So it's like puzzles. Small bits, small bits, small bits make the whole picture. And I know we're always told to dream big and aim high and what you think you can be and all those lots of things that we tell ourselves, and in actual sense they are true. You should dream big, you should aim high, but you should also know that big dreams and aiming high comes with small steps. So for example, we don't just jump past 15 flights of steps from the first step to the 15th. No, you take it one step at a time. At most you're taking 2 steps, and with 2 steps you're extremely careful because you don't want to miss your step lest you fall. So it's the same thing with big goals. You start from the small bits and pieces, the small puzzles that would make up the big picture. So you take it one step at a time, one step at a time. So you're working with the end in mind, but you're also seeing the beginning. So you know that the beginning is not going to be extraordinary, it's not going to be extravagant, it's not going to be best-selling author in one day. But you know that you're going to start with small bits, say writing an article a day, or writing 500 words a day, or a week, or anyhow it is that you want. It could be starting a class, taking a writing class, watching a video, anything. It could be any of the small bits that would lead to the ultimate picture of you being a best-selling author. But you should always keep in mind that with big goals, you start with small steps. And I feel like I've said this enough times for it to be emphasized. Okay guys, those are the 2 lessons that I learned from procrastination, and I believe I've kind of provided a solution to it. So with fear of failure, you just take the first step, because when you take the first step, you realize that that goal was not as fearful as you thought. Second one, the goal seems too big, but if you break it down into smaller bits and pieces, then you can tackle it one piece at a time. And I think I have been able to successfully pronounce procrastination without biting my tongue. Okay guys, that's it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed creating it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.